Good evening, everyone. Welcome again, Wednesday evening, Teddy. I completely agree with you. I was actually in doubt whether I should show up because of everything going on. Like, my head is absolutely going crazy, and I don't even live on the other side of the ocean. So, Teddy, welcome. Mr. Pigment, hope you are okay. Ian, Paolo, welcome again. And Paolo, everything is goof with you here and very good with me here. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a weird week. On the personal side, like, shoulder is good. But I'm not quite sure if I'm going to pour a drink this evening. I still need to look something up. I'll tell you why later. It's a bit of a weird story. It's not actually a story. It's just like more of a sentence that just quickly tells a story, but I will tell a little bit later. So I'll wait a few minutes since I started a little bit earlier than I planned to, or actually usually do. So if you don't have a drink already, please pour one. I made myself a cup of tea to start with today. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to make. I've made, I think 2 hours ago I stopped making paint for today. Before that I was making paint and cleaning, especially the cloths, measuring spoons, palette knives, everything. I was kind of piling up. Sylvie, welcome, good evening, and great to see you. Yeah, that's also a part that even I sometimes forget, having this as spending my time trying to make money. The cleaning part. So you make a lot of mess making paint, and it's not only clothes-wise. Clothes-wise, I work quite neatly, but cleaning-wise, I make sure my tools are clean. I use clean tools, and my workspace is clean. But I have this is a downside. Maybe a muller or one too many, as well as palette knives. Since when I don't feel like cleaning up during the day, I just tend to grab a new palette knife and a new muller, and just continue working. And the rest of it is kind of piling up. And after not doing it for a few days, it actually takes more time to clean everything. So yeah. Fat Filbert, welcome. A watercolorist. Sorry to hear that, and welcome, a watercolorist, obviously. I don't know, maybe you can lower the resolution of the stream. Maybe that works for you for now, for as long as you want to stay. It's already not on the highest resolution that I'm working on, since eventually that gave too many issues. I think that was the issue. Not quite sure. I don't think so actually, but it's stable for now, so I'll keep it like that on my side. Let's put this thing on. Shut up. And this as well. So today I'm not quite sure what I want to make. Was thinking kaput mortem, since that I had kind of refilled some pens, and then later I find out I have stocked up on it already enough. No, wait, I'm going to, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some PV62 again today. Strontium violet, or shall I make it orange? I've had my fair share of oranges and yellows today already. I feel like compensating it a bit with a violet. What shall I do? What to do? Strontium orange. That's going to be interesting. Let me check on my violets. PV. Yeah, that's already dry and that's filled up. Okay, so strontium orange is not going to be it. But what is... I can actually... You know what? It's not going to be strontium violet. Going to be dioxazine violet. Quickly put this in here, and then this, and this, and this, and then make it this. There we go. Minus the space. Okay. So that is better. PV23. And literally this doesn't give a good picture at all. Might need to use the flash for this. Will this work? Let me see if this works. Let me see if this... I don't think this is going to work. That isn't working at all. Gulchen, welcome. That is not working at all. So it's not going to be a background of dioxazine violet. Rick, welcome. Why does it got a bad rap? Oh, sorry, Rick, you entered the chat already sooner. I read your comment, but didn't see that was you. It's kind of the same-ish. Kind of. So let's quickly have a look at that, what information there is. It's a little bit more light fast, but I thought that was actually so minimal that... Let me quickly check it. Yeah, Filbert, it's that's strontium violet PV62. All days welcome. I'm quickly going to check up on the info I have about the PV23 and PV37. Thing is, I tested, and this is, oh, I have to be fair with that. This is quite a while ago, I think a few years. I tested the PV37s I could get my hands on with the PV23s. And I liked PV23s better. Anyway, I'm going to make it. Since I do sell PV23, and I do have PV37, check this. Wait, what kiwi? I'm missing things here. Where's my mouse? What kiwi are you talking about? Hey, watercolorist, I did a quick window test, but to be honest, back then, for one, not long enough. I didn't. Let me just put it like this. I didn't do proper light fast tests on it. Back then. Ian, are you cursing here? Why are we using that channel here? Why are you saying that out loud? And what kind of problems? That's what I'm most interested in. Sorry about that. A random cube. Apparently, otherwise you would have taken a fresher one, I would say. But glad to hear it was still good. So now I am wondering what kind of problem it gave. Because, Ian, that's not like a channel we talk about here. That's like the culture hustle of content creators. Can I say that? Is that too harsh? Oh, I do like that. I'm sorry. Did you do that, Ian? Did you? Did you, Ian? Be honest. You're with family. Now, the thing is, no, she's not. Thing is, a lot of the pigments, at least you know, I saw on the TikTok app, on the clock on TikTok, I saw a lot of pigments that she showed weren't real. Like, it was just putting it in like a fancy old glass bottle, and you know, and a lot of things she told about other pigments just weren't true. Also, the amount of questions I got about London Purple, London Violet, as a pigment after her videos, that's like, that bothered me so much. Whether I had that pigment because they saw someone who had that pigment, yeah. I was wondering, Rick, are you talking about the birds or are you talking about the you people? And please don't think any racist things when people are asking if we're eating yellow kiwis or green kiwis. Like racist, cannibalistic people eating yellow kiwis over here. Rick, still, are we talking about the bird or someone from New Zealand who was just drunk in your garden? Yeah, a frequently asked questions section with, have you seen the videos of this channel? Click here. This is a very intense purple, yeah. And very, very hydrophobic. And while I'm talking to you, I am realizing I'm not making it the way that I actually want to make it. Like usually I spread a little layer of binder around it to make it easier for me. And now I'm making it really hard for myself because I'm distracted by... Sorry about that. By you guys. I did see a pink kiwi fruit a while back on the wide internet somewhere. I don't know. I was looking for. I was actually looking for the color of the skin of a kiwi fruit. Is that the blood one? The pink one? Ooh, be careful. A slight mist of pigment because I moved a little bit too quickly. Ah. I think I saw that one. And when I looked further into it, because I showed one of my girls whose favorite color is pink, I saw a Photoshopped version with like a bright magenta pink inside, which actually it looked like it looked like the pink dragon fruit. Like the white dragon fruit with the black pits in it. You also have the pink one, which is like a really bright magenta. From the unsullied pile. Anyway, I think this will do. It worked out pretty okay. See how bright that violet is. This is one of the pigments, by the way, that my camera probably can't handle. This intensity. Also with the dry pigment there's a slight reddish, as if it's a wet waterproof marker. I think that's the best description I have. You see the stains over here on the slab. That has that shine on it. Let me see if I can show you here. That shine. It's almost greenish. You see, it's a weird, not violet shine, and that is the same thing, the same shine that the dry pigment has as well. This is just because that was dry pigment that was really stuck to the slab. I'm just adding I added a little bit extra already. Adding a little bit of water to it. You can actually see it kind of disappear. Cleaning my slab a little bit from the stains. So it's actually just stained onto, not into, because I can get this slab clean eventually, but onto the slab. And I can't scrape this off as it was with my palette knife, as it, if it's dry. So I can do it like this. Oh, I've tried durian, yeah. I've also tried durian ice cream, which was really lovely. Like that fruity, harsh, garlicky taste that durian has, but then with a sweet creaminess as the ice cream base. It was really, really nice actually. I liked it. Iodine, yeah, exactly, Teddy. Kind of like that. That's a way better description. A golden sheen. That's also yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. A watercolorist. Not quite sure. I've seen it for lipstick in the use of lipstick, but that intensity that it gives it, that weird shine to it. It's. Does anyone know where that comes from? Yeah, the supermarket ones here, Gulchen, are quite tasteless. Speaking of exotic things, I still need to look up if I can actually get a drink this night. Since I have a week of antibiotics 3 times a day, and I got a tetanus shot last Monday, because last Sunday I went with my girls to a lovely animal park called Apenhul here in the Netherlands, which is basically 35 species of monkeys and apes, with some of them walk free. The squirrel monkeys, for instance, which I think are one of my favorites, but I got bitten by one. It's definitely one of my daughter's favorite animals, and she was so fascinated by me too. I mean, one sat on my back, and I wanted to take a picture. I took a few pictures, but I wanted to take a picture with my girl standing next to it, and I want to come a little bit closer, since there was one like sitting on my shoulder / backpack before, and that one looked at me, and then he like smelled my phone, and I was like, okay, and I took a picture, and then with his little like hands, tiny hands, with very soft, he took one of them took my finger, like couldn't even hold my finger, like close his hand with my finger, and took my phone, and then he smelled it, and I thought, oh, that's cute, and then was like, and he started to kind of nibble, and then one of his teeth like kind of punctured my finger, quite badly. Which was, it didn't hurt, and I didn't want to scare my girls, especially that that if it even if it hurt. But yeah, it wasn't that bad, and stopped bleeding after like 24 hours now, after like 15 minutes. and I went to one of the people over there and asked, how this happened, and it's quite clean, and it led quite a bit during the time that it did. So I think all the dirty stuff is out, if there is any. And then she said that any precautions should be taken. So I called my GP the other day, the day after, and they said we're taking it quite serious because it's an exotic animal. Still, it's within an enclosed park in the Netherlands, but still it's a wild animal. So yeah, a shot and a week full of pills for me. Yeah, if my girls weren't there, I started crying like a little man, I would say, actually, because I think my girls would be tougher than that. But no, it didn't hurt at all, and I actually thought it was quite cute. It was just curiosity as well. I didn't blame the monkey. So yeah, that was fun. Yeah, and then it would have been jumped by 20 of them. No, they're not. Oh, that's 6 feet different. The distance that would be ideal, especially on days like that in parks like that. Yeah, if you hear me making any weird noises, or if next time I'm live I'm hanging upside down by my tail, you know what's going on. That would be ideal, just mulling with my tail. Just like, yeah. Tetanus shots. It wasn't the best shot I've ever had. Definitely not the worst as well. Well, it's set to have one every 10 years. I think mine was 12 years ago. But no. Not really. Not like by appointment or anything. What is playing here? Let me just do some piano, please. I like that Gulchan. So whenever there's a full moon, you know why I'm not live. This is, you can actually see it in the texture here on the slab. This is an especially annoying hydrophobic pigment when it comes to making smooth paint out of it. So what you have is, these are all specks of pigment. This is not dry pigment, but it's definitely not mold pigment. Well, it's a very, very fine pigment. You can see the purple bluish shine on my glass just because there's powder, maybe a little bit of powder dust and a slight thinner layer of paint on the side. That just looks blackish. And I really love doing this. That's so bright. Let me see if my camera, actually, yeah, we can actually get the, okay, so my screen, this old screen I have over here can't capture it, it's too blue, but on that screen I have what you're seeing actually, so it's a bit behind. That fluorescent violet, just in your face, vibrant color coming through. Oh, of course I did. I literally ran home from school when I was a kid, when Dragon Ball was on Fox Kids, I think. It's a shame that, well, you know, with everything happening, maybe that's the entertainment we get again. Since no one can afford a phone anymore in a few weeks, I think. Why is no one saying they're looking at an old jar of titanium white? Sorry about that. I'm just too focused on getting all these small parts out. True, I do know Z better than the original one. Or than the any one actually. Do they turn in monkeys again in the later one? Yeah, right. Sorry for those of you who don't get that. Yeah, the paint grinder. Yeah, that's the better one. If I do turn into a monkey, you can choose. I think I've never experienced the 60s. Missed it by a few decades. But I think especially looking back at it, it was less cool than it felt back then. That's what I imagine. It's kind of true, Teddy. Starting to get a little bit better. Just a little bit. If I can do forced labor with spider monkeys, yes. I can pay them. Imagine that, like, when they're turning into, like, the blue Super Saiyans. And still being able to turn into a monkey. While doing a fusion thing. I don't know, maybe that's done already. Maybe that's just a 9-year-old kid in me. True. That sounds happy. Let me quickly. I'm getting like. It's exhausting. I'm wearing a white shirt, right? Yeah, this is not good for this for this pigment. I'm not wearing a shirt that I actually want to use as a cloth for cleaning at the moment. Otherwise, I would have taken my shirt off, but this one isn't on as well. No, it's not. Okay. Oh. You've met one, or you saw one, or did you actually, like, meet him? Is that real, Single Chen? Doesn't sound real. If it is, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look something up anyway, because I do feel like a drink, a cold one. Okay, so that's not real. Okay, so actually, it's okay to drink. Okay. But they did grow them back, right, at a certain time in Z, I think. Didn't they? Or Gohan grew one back? I don't know. I thought someone did. I'm going to get a drink. Cheers. Oh, that hurt. How's everyone here doing? So I'm slightly regretting making 2 scoops of this pigment. Usually I don't mind, but right now, trying to kind of read the chat and focusing on mulling. It's and usually, to be honest, I do use a lot more force, more downwards pressure while milling. But ever since I couldn't work out anymore with my shoulder, I've lost my condition went downhill like very badly. So it's if I want to be able to talk and breathe and mill hard like that, that's not a good combination. Yeah, I did, right? Sentient and welcome. I think I only saw one movie, the one that Frieza got returned, like the golden. I think that's the only one I saw, and I did enjoy that actually, just because it's Frieza. Okay, we're getting somewhere. See? Way less specs over there. I did see Brody as well. Now you mention it. Wasn't that like? Yeah, that's the one. Wasn't that like with Goku's brother or something like that? You see the... No, I touched it. How many violet just comes off? But just does that violet kind of already kind of shining through, and if you just do this, that it's I so much enjoy making this pigment just because of these events, I would say. A brownish undertone. Well, in the mask tone, absolutely. I can see it on my screen there, which is calibrated. I can see it on my cheap screen here, which is not. Absolutely, it's that weird shine it has to it. And what I see here, and I'm trying to capture the angle. See if I can get it on my phone. Can I get that angle? I don't think it can. I think it's compensating for the darkness too much here. No, I can't capture it on my phone. Yeah, it is. I see like here, and you don't see it there, but this part over there has a kind of an oil stain-ish, I wouldn't say rainbow, but there's an oil stain-ish iridescence in there. On the top of that, it's almost flat, but on the top of that piled up paint. Let me see if I can recreate that. No. So yeah, it's a weird pigment, but this bright violet just shining through, I do enjoy it, and this is the reason why I offer PV23 and why I leave it as it is, because unfortunately PV23 is filled with brighteners and enhancers in commercial paint. So the drying shift on this thing is crazy. The almost black pigment with the weird shine on it in its like full mass tone on the slab, scraping it off and leaving, like literally leaving no, okay, this is just too staining. Basically this is no wet paint, but now I have my fingerprint here. Wait, get off. Leaving this much violet on my slab, but once it hits the paper and gets absorbed and dries, that drying shift makes it an almost dullish, grayish violet. So yeah, it's a real shame. So I get why brands add the brightener to it, the optical brightener. I get that. I thought about doing it, but then, because I really like how incredibly strong and incredibly tinting this pigment is, but then I would cancel out one of its most unique pigment properties, almost its entire personality. So yeah, I don't want to do that. But working with the Dioxazine violet makes me enjoy paint making and working with, I want to say unique pigments, but this is quite a normal pigment, but it makes it kind of special again every time. An earth red, an earth yellow, I do really enjoy those, some more than others, but that's like what you see is what you get. Some of them are as bright on paper as they are on the slab, as they are as a pigment, with exceptions like Caput Mortuum. Most of you might know that when I make that, it has a color as a pigment, a color as a paint on my slab, and a different color on paper, with all different looks and feels to it. It's yeah, I see. That's what Gulchen says. No, I really enjoy that. It looks really smooth when I pile it up like this. But let's do a proper test. I don't have any flexible arms left here, do I? Nope. I'm in doubt whether that was a tiny speck on the Hagman gauge. So you can, you can still see a little bit of that, I want to say grittiness, but if you see how fine this is, and how well dispersed even, I think we can do a little bit better. Cleaning my tools as soon as I've used them. This is basically what the paint would look like. This is what you would expect when you paint with it. What it would look like on the slab as well, but it doesn't. And just adding a tiny bit of paint to it makes it so much darker again. Are you guys still there? Do that. Welcome. No, you're absolutely right. It's before you people mentioned it has like a brownish, a hint of brown to it in its mass tone. Funny, Ian. Thank you. But yeah, it's therefore I would say warmer is absolutely right. It's almost like ultraviolet blue when you see it like this. That bright. So yeah, definitely warmer. That's nice that people know each other from other streams. It's kind of the same kind of niche, kind of. Something with pigments. Talent's Violet. And Rick. Yeah, in acrylics, I think acrylics. In acrylics, it is the first time I used this pigment, I think. Yeah, and I use it as a glaze basically, since it was so transparent when I worked with it a little bit thinner in its mass tone. I was really surprised when it came out of tube. I was from Golden, I think. Yeah, I'm quite sure. But let me quickly have a look at PV23 on artistpigments.org with you, while I'm going to continue mulling. Where are we? There are we. When I continue mulling a little bit later. PV23 in different brands, you see a huge color difference, whereas this looks quite... I'm blocking it with my own face. Okay. Should be aware of that. This looks quite like mine, I think. I think this looks closer to my ultramarine violet, actually. Maybe this looks closer than mine. This is a little bit... No, I think this one. This is a little bit darker here. This is a little bit warmer. This one, for me, looks a little... I don't know. Maybe it's the swatch. This is definitely not a single pigment. This can't be PV23. It's that simple. If you know pigments, and you all do, I trust you. This isn't PV23. You can even see kind of it's separating here. What I mean, can we zoom in? Can we zoom in to the... Yeah. So you see some separation happening here. Definitely not a single pigment, in my opinion, but apparently it's on the label. So yeah, there's that. And this looks like strontium violet to me, a little bit more than dioxazine violet. And then there's things without swatches. Then we have gouaches, which obviously have a opacifier. So it is like this one. It's quite bright. An opacifier usually is like an opaque white edition. So it's a lot brighter, which makes sense. As a dry pigment from blocks, that looks more like a dull blue than a violet. Kramer studio pigment, yeah, so this is a very bright one. A studio pigment is a mixed one. There is a filler to it. So it's not hydrophobic as well. That's a plus, but it gives you a different color. It doesn't give you the pigment with all its personality and all its characteristics. Acrylic, well, that's almost black. More acrylic. That's not really worth it here for comparing it to this. But yeah, there's a lot of color differences, and sometimes a little bit too much. Thanks, Rick. So yeah, let's continue milling. Let's also, by the way, get rid of this hum. I think this is way better. Oh, it was a little fan that I installed, especially for drying malachite, since malachite does not want to dry in my dehydrator. It wants to dry there, but it puffs up as a little cupcake in the oven. Although that is just set on 20 degrees, it still puffs up every single time I put in, no matter how small the layers of malachite I pour. It doesn't want to work in the dehydrator. So I kind of I improvised a ventilation rack for just malachite. No, not unexpected at all. When you look at, I think you're let me just get watercolors out. Referring to this one, if I just click watercolors, it's a little bit less to the black, although no, that's quite that's quite black. That's quite neutralish black. This looks like a perfect neutral. Water mixable oil. No, I don't want a water mixable oil. I want watercolors only. Watercolors only. Just that. And then I want to blow this up, and then you're coming up with all the other ones again. While you're doing this, so let's just get the one that is the most neutral watercolor from Renaissance, and this is the sample. So this is what it read. And that's PV23. So when you, this is fun. When the computer sees this and it wants to tint it, it goes like this. There's not even a little bit of violet in it. Which is not a good thing, I think. That is weird. That is weird. thank you, Sylvie. Hope to see you soon. I really hope to make it again this week / weekend to stream, but it's really like, yeah, I can't make any promises there. So I hope you have a great rest of the evening and a great week if I see you next week, Wednesday. And of course, thanks for joining. Just want to do make a quick swatch here. Let's take the booklet from last week, since I planned to put that away, but then I put it on top of that. So this is how bright this violet is as a paint. Let's add a little bit of master on there. And let me have a look if I can tinker a little bit with my stuff here. Do I still have stuff here? I think I can just use my phone like this, right? Just put it like this. Can I do it like that? Yeah, I can do it like that. I can do it like that. Okay, let's have a look how this dries. I know it's not sets up perfectly when it comes to the light, but let's watch it dry. In the meantime, I'm just going to continue mull the rest of the paint here, but it felt quite good. So you should be able to see a massive drying shift happening, hopefully. Let's see if I can turn it around a little bit like this. This might work a little bit better, I think. I hope. Never heard of them before as well. Gulchen. But that's actually pretty good music for the game, at least. 22 degrees Celsius in the UK. Can you guys handle that over there? Or just easy content making, right? Just lazy writing from my side. Just watch paint dry, guys. I'll be right back. No, but this is because that massive drying shift that happens with this paint, and as soon as this shot loses its sheen, its wet look, 28 degrees Celsius. I think, you know, in the UK everyone will burn, right, with 28 degrees, I think. Isn't that? No, but the the humidity is the worst here when it gets like anywhere near 30 here. Paolo, have you ever been here or anywhere like in the north during summer? North of the wall? It's not that bad here. I've spoken to an exchange student that was in my school. Well, I think south of England counts as well, right? It's kind of the same. And they said it was worse here during the summer than in Spain, because of the humidity here, and it was a terribly humid weeks as well. So just expressing it in numbers in Celsius really doesn't tell anything. But yeah, as you can see, the drying shift is already happening quite badly. Still, there is a lot of violet left. I don't want it to turn out too violet, but you saw me not putting in any fillers, so that's good. But it's way more violet than than I usually have it when I swatch it out. Air conditioning is getting way more common, yeah. Wasn't really a few years back, but now sometimes heating your house with the air conditioning is cheaper than using the a central heating system, because that uses gas, which is quite expensive at the moment. You're keeping count of that, a watercolorist. I've left that a long time ago, but now it stresses me out. Guys, please like the video. Also, only 14 viewers. I mean, it's this is a regular stream, right? Sometimes it's way more. Where like with peaks of 23 or something. And I really don't care. It's just weird. Melissa, welcome. Oh, minus 17 and above 40. Minus 17. You don't see me making paint when it's minus 17 or above 40 degrees Celsius. I think my muller will either melt or break of the frost. It's either those two. I'm going to have a look if I can find that Legends of Zelda with the shield and sword for you, Gulchen. I still have it. It must be somewhere, but I haven't seen it in a long time, in a very long time. I think like a good 20 years, long time. No, that's not true. It must be less. Or do you already have that? That's also a possibility. So let me just pour the paint into pans while you are still watching the drying shift of Dioxazine violet. Violet. Where did I leave the violet? It's right in front of me. Right over there. So I finished some pans, I continued some pans, and I started some new pans the other day. But still, I think I will have more paint than I need. I'm so sorry about that, Teddy. You're also watching like a tiny man talking about colored powders. Depending on what kind of screen you're watching, but still I'm smaller than that swatch of paint you have on your screen. Is there like another thing to I don't have another. Did I get rid of those shots? I think I did. I think I got rid of some. Yep. I thought I had a scene with the screen of my phone instead of the close-up thingy. Oh wow. it's slowly but surely losing its color. But still quite good for a watercolorist. See you again hopefully next time. I'm quickly going to swatch a wash, more of a wash next to it. This is such a tinting pigment. This is, I want to say it's terrible, but it's quite lovely actually. And actually want to give it a little bit more pigment on this side. So you can just see more paint dry. What is the time? I think I am not going to be on for long as well after this. But I want to do 2 more things. Well, is a watercolorist, are you still there? If you are still here, let's just have a look at what this does on the spectrometer. We're adding a library color, violets, and going to compare it to my previous swatch of it, which is pretty close, but the swatch was also a little bit more mid-tone. So this one is, or was it more no, this one is the mid-tone is, was it more mouse tone? I have to look, but curve-wise it's the same. So that's good, but this one is a little bit brighter, a little bit, than my initial swatch. I know, Melissa, but I don't want to add any fillers or brightness to it. That can kind of counteract the Sebastian, welcome. Sorry, that can kind of counteract the dry shift, but I just don't want to do that, since the drying shift is one of its properties that makes it quite a unique violet. The tinting strength and just going to show off. It is an extremely bright, that's way too bright. My camera wants to kind of compensate. Where is the software? That is way too bright. Very quickly adjust this and get rid of. There we go. Okay. That's better. I think that's better. really doesn't want to do a lot of good there, but I think that's a little bit better. I'm sorry to hear your Instagram isn't working yet, or isn't back yet. If that azurite is meant for me, Sebastian, I'm quite hesitant to assume that, but please. Oh wow! How can we get in touch about that? Shall we email about it? So for those of you who are not familiar here, this is PV23 in a dot pen. This is a dot pen, this is a regular half pen. There we go. So my email address, let me just get to the keyboard. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't know if I'm able to share emails, so I'm just going to type like this. Is your Instagram like is it used by someone else, or don't you have access to it anymore? Still looking at the sad drawing shift over there. Let's clean up. Nope, I'm going to clean it right now. I'm not going to put it in the container there. Actually, you want to pour the paint on your slab with this and not spray it like this, since it is a very, very staining pigment. Oh no, Sebastian. You don't have to be, really. No, you can't see what I'm doing. I know I'm making a mess, but no. I'm just cleaning up here. And this is the part, especially with the staining pigment like this, when people think it's a shame, I'm just going to throw this all away. Oh, that wasn't smooth enough yet. Now it is. We can play pigment pong like this. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's good to not see what I'm doing, right? It's so as you can see, with a little bit of water, just scraping it like this makes it a lot better than it was before, when it was just, you know, that violet, ultraviolet, fluorescent like bright color coming through. Oh, I made a mess. Never mind. I see splatters that way. Oh, that's so awesome. Made my big muller dirty, which wasn't dirty before, but now it is. Should have used this one. I know it's a waste for people who can paint with it or want to paint with it. I know. That's all you can do with it. Directly paint with it. I can't pour this in a pan. Well, that's clean enough, right? Let's make a yellow next now. Oh. Yeah, or you might be able to put it like in a jar and use it like tomorrow or something. Don't wait too long. Shake it up a bit before you use it. But still, it's a lot of work to get, you know, to get the water off your slab. Like, how do you get water in something? Right, that takes ages. This just shows how incredibly long-lasting a little bit of this paint is. No, I don't throw them away. Everything, these are all t-shirts actually. T-shirts. I think I even have some old underwear now. It's basically everything, everything old cotton-wise. Cloths we used when my kids were babies still. Everything like very absorbing in cotton. A rubber spatula, I do have those here, like the rubber, the scrapers you have like for baking. And it works when you have like water on it like this. but you can get more pigment off when your slab isn't wet. And pouring this in a pan just still doesn't work. So you have to put it in a container like this, and still getting this off. No, probably no old underwear. No, that's, you know, I use that when I was painting just to clean brushes and things like that. Just basically any old fabrics that are either like washed, parallel, obviously. Used underwear. I don't wash my underwear. I just use it for cleaning my slab when I use my underwear. No. Okay, we really need to end this. That's a joke. That's a joke. It's a joke. But basically everything old and cotton that I would usually throw away, and is like substantial enough, so it's a little bit bigger. I take that and use it. And sometimes I throw some of these cloths away because there's too much holes in it, because, you know, cleaning your palette knives basically just cuts holes in it in time. But as I was saying, too many things, just too many things at once here. I do, and this morning I'm going to do tomorrow morning first thing, I soak them in water in my sink here in my studio. I have a big contraption under my sink, which stops the water from flowing directly into the sewer, but lets it settle first, so all the pigment particles settle down first, until, you know, it is full, and then it overflows. So every day I need to kind of drain it until it's at its lowest possible point, so the pigment has time to sink down, so I don't wash away the pigment down the sewer. And a small business like me, it takes a long time. It takes a long time to get like enough pigment out of this for my sink. Also with the water of washing brushes and things like that. Never goes directly down the drain, but always sinks down first. So I could eventually either make, I don't know, paint out of the, if it's usable like mass of pigment. If there's too many pieces of cloth in it, like fluff, I won't use it as if I don't want any fluff in my paint. But I can use it like the gray that Schminke releases once a year, for instance. I would call it throwaway gray, but if it's not usable as a pigment, I would dry that cake from that. It's kind of a large kind of bucket contraption, and I would bring it to the chemical waste. But so yeah, I'm not washing down my pigments I'm not washing it down the drain. I'm very aware of you know, like everything I'm doing here, and trying my best to do what I can to minimize well, the chat is quicker, Gulchen, you answer it. What is it called in English? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Let's look it up, shall we? A windshield wiper. Is it a windshield wiper? windshield wiper? I can't imagine that's the right word for it. Windscreen wiper? The thing on the car that goes that thing, right? I think that's the best explanation I can make audible. So there's one more thing I would like to show to you. Apart from the sad, dried up, dulled down wash of Dioxazine Vitamin, I have this. Oh, this is not too dark. Let's just put it like this. This, who can guess what this is? I'm just going to wait a moment till everything is in sync with the live stream and the chat. But guess what this is? For my regular viewers, I think. Melissa, I think you didn't see that stream of the... Yeah, that's right, Ian. So, a few streams ago, I put isopropyl alcohol directly with my watercolor binder. And it turns into milky white, thick, gooey snots. And I added a little bit of nickel dioxide yellow mixed with alcohol to it. You win the honor of being you, Ian. You deserve that. And it ended up being a hard piece of yellow plastic that you can just... Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It is weird, but it makes me think of something, and I actually really need to go because I'm getting tired and I'm getting like this is... I don't need to do things like that right now, but I do want to. Can we maybe just, if we, and then, oh my god, okay. I made like a water-soluble crayon. Oh, sorry about this. Why the heart? Well, this color over here, I made this pigment this afternoon out of a little bit of a piece of stone that one of my girls gave me, and she was the sweetest like ever. She always is, but at the end of the day she came back home from school and she came home like Dad, and out of her pocket like, I have something for you, and she came home with these 3 rocks for me to make pigment out of. Like my heart melted. Like this is the cutest thing ever. We were walking in the forest, I think, yeah, in the weekend as well, and she started asking things about it. Both of them started asking things about it, but one especially. Like, what kind of things do you need, and can you make it out of this, can you make it out of that? And every single rock that she found came with that question, which is like, at the moment, is like kind of sometimes kind of exhausting, like oh no, like, but then again, you know, it's so sweet as well, because she finds every rock that's a little bit different, just a little bit more shiny or anything. They want to keep. And I said, no, like the really shiny ones, that doesn't work. It needs to be kind of like a little bit sandy. And if you can use it as a crayon, if you can draw with it on a tile, you can probably make paint out of it. So, and then she came back with like perfectly workable stuff. This is a perfect, like a yellowish. This is looks like something like chalk, something, and I don't know if this was a brick. No, it's too soft for a brick because it worked really well. It made a beautiful, I thought it was more red, but it made a beautiful brown ochreish color. So that was, yeah. Those moments make everything worth it, basically. So yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to finish with that. I think I can't top it off. Something sweet as that, and just so considerate of her. Just keeping those three apart, like in her pocket from school. Knowing that she thinks of that as well. It's just like, yeah. I actually don't want to share too much personal things in here, as, you know, me acting as a business person of a business, but those things, like, yeah, I enjoy those moments. Anyway, thank you so much for joining, everyone. Make sure you still like the stream if you haven't already. I'm probably going to see if I can do a live Friday morning. So not tomorrow morning, but Friday morning. Otherwise, I will see, and I'm probably not going to announce it as well. So turn on notifications if you haven't already. Thanks for joining, everyone. I will make paint out of it, and I think we're probably going to paint together, just with those colors, and maybe I'm going to add some more colors of my own, or mixes, because I do think that the Parm Brilliant that we made last week, I do think she enjoys that. Let me happen to have dots of that. Thank you for joining, guys, and yeah, keep an eye on the channel, because I just might go online when you don't expect it. So thank you Paolo as well for the company, and joining again this week. I hope everyone has a great day, great rest of the week. If I don't see you, if you can't make it any other time, I hope to see you again next week, Wednesday. Thank you for joining. Bye, guys.